begin nesting and breeding. But this guy over here, I forget his name, but he's made a nest and he doesn't have a partner, so he's just chilling out on his own with his own little nest there. So they don't all pair up and all breed at exactly the same time. But these guys along here, they've made pretty established nests. The keepers have then come along and put a mat underneath their pebbles and big raised rocks around the outside, and that just individualises each nest. They do squabble a bit as well. You might have seen them fighting when rock stealing goes on, so we might see a bit of that while we're here chatting. Lots of squabbling goes on, just a bit of big snapping really. It's about as hard as it gets, but they're doing a pretty good job here of stealing rocks. Very, very naughty for whoever's left there. I think Aquarium owns this nest and he's left it behind, so too bad for him when he returns from swimming. So the king penguins, they don't breed till they're about 5 years old, so they're still around 3 years old as well. So they've got a bit of time to go yet before they are ready as well. So we actually only have one female who's laid very early in the season, quite unusual. But that girl over back there, KT, she has laid 2 eggs, so that's she's sitting on those eggs at the moment. So she'll lay on them continually for 35 days without moving. She'll get up and wander a little bit. She won't move off the egg though, she'll stay there. So she's got about a month of sitting and nesting on that. And her partner Mawson is really doing a good job. He's bringing her lots and lots of rocks and helping her out pretty well as well. And obviously standing guard to make sure that no other penguins come and steal the rocks they've worked so hard to collect. So they're very, very cute and a lot of fun. We do enjoy having them here very much. They do look pretty cute and cuddly, and I suppose that's a big attraction to why people do enjoy the penguins. But let me assure you, you do not want a penguin as a pet. As you can see, they make a lot of mess. They coo every 17 minutes. They are 42 birds, so that's a lot of mess going on. They do live in large social groups that they're in now, so you need a lot of penguins to keep each penguin happy. Luckily, they don't need too much space, so I suppose a big part of the design of our exhibit is to obviously replicate the penguin's natural environment. So on a structured beach, or I suppose near the ocean, I suppose you could call it a beach. It's more like a big land of pebbles, like the penguins have here. In Antarctica, where the birds would naturally be found, they live in a section of space exactly the size of this. And there could be up to about, I reckon, close to 200-300, maybe even 400 penguins in this space. They fit in an enormous amount of birds into a tiny amount of space. And that's because penguins have been designed to be the type of animal that doesn't need a lot of space, and that allows them to be in big numbers. Obviously you're safer in bigger numbers and you're a lot warmer as well. So these guys can survive in the windiest, coldest and driest place in the whole world. They can withstand temperatures of minus 82 degrees, pretty much anything above what we can withstand, and 300-kilometre winds these birds have been surviving in down in Antarctica. So they're absolutely incredible guys, and I suppose having a look at them, you might not know that, but I suppose they're really, really well designed. They've got really cool feathers. They've got the most amount of feathers packed into the smallest amount of space. So they're probably the longest birds around. So they're like a big doona really, which is pretty cute. That's why they look so fat and chubby, because they've got thousands and thousands of feathers. And their feathers are specially designed, so they've got a frayed end, and that allows that warm air to be trapped against their skin. They've also got a big fat layer of blubber that makes them a little bit fatter as well. But obviously it's important to be fat and have lots of feathers to keep really warm in those conditions. And they huddle together a little bit too. Ours tend not to. Obviously, we can't replicate minus 82 degrees here in the aquarium. So it's about minus 2 degrees here in the display. That's about 7 degrees in the water. So while they don't all huddle together, they still have all exactly the same natural features that their wild counterparts do have. They're waterproof as well, which is pretty important. I'll get to your question in a second, sir. So when they dive in the water, you'll see lots of bubbles come off their back. If one wants to dive in, that'd be ideal for one. Get in the water. They never do it when they're told. But lots of bubbles come off their back, and that's all the warm air that gets trapped. This guy's going to jump in, possibly. No, doesn't want to. That's all right. We can have a look at that as well. Did you have a question?
Yeah, this one.
No chicks. Only one is laying eggs.